So, Mr. Harrison Ford. Oh dear, he's hurt himself. Now, this is just a video to kind of provide some of the facts, and I guess realistically just say, is there anything to be worried about now with Indiana Jones 5? Is this going to really delay it? Everything's pointing to no. Don't actually be worried at all. But it is quite, it's a shame, you know. It is a shame. Harrison Ford is no stranger to injuring himself. Injured himself a couple years back on, what was it? I can't even remember which one it was. One of the Star Wars movies. He got his leg trapped in a sliding door for the Millennium Falcon or some nonsense. And this is just, I guess, maybe an indication that working with some more elderly actors definitely has its own trials and tribulations, like injuries. As we all know, it's not ageist. It's just a simple fact of the matter. As we age, we do struggle with recovery and we are susceptible to greater injuries. Now, all of these excerpts are from Deadline, who actually broke all of this news, and they had the exclusive, which was Harrison Ford hurt himself rehearsing a fight scene in Indiana Jones 5, sources tell Deadline. Now, they do later actually have, a quote from Disney, basically indicating everything. Now, the extent of his injury wasn't immediately known, but it involves his shoulder. Now, that's really important, actually. So it sounds like he may have just hurt himself a little bit, actually rehearsing the fight, and then later it became far worse. Which is actually a sign of it being fine. As in not like fine that he's injured himself, but in the long run, that's a better injury to have than immediately, oh my god, I've wrecked my shoulder, I've blown it out, I've ripped out of the socket. You can see where I'm going with my train of thought there. Now, director James Mangold will, of course, continue to shoot around him while the appropriate course of treatment is evaluated. That is fantastic in terms of keeping this project on track. The fact that this injury is so light, because it is, it very clearly is light, that the director is now able to just shoot around the injury. That indicates that, one, Harrison Ford, God bless his soul, isn't majorly injured. Yes, a little bit, and yeah, he's probably going to be a little bit sore, and probably shouldn't be doing a lot of the fight scenes now. But it means that he's not going to be, irreparably damaged moving forwards based on this or from this injury, which is great. That's nothing but good news, quite frankly. And it also means that it won't be delayed either. It means that they can just keep to their production schedule. Now, does this mean that they may delay it by a couple of weeks in terms of their production schedule? Yeah, of course. But will that then have a knock-on effect of the release date? No, probably not. I do not see this affecting it in any way, shape or form. Absolutely, in fact. Now, the filming schedule will be reconfigured as needed in the coming weeks. So yeah, like shuffling it forward, maybe backwards a couple of weeks, whatever. Disney has set Lucasfilm action thriller for a July 29th, 2022 release date. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to stick to that, actually. Based on this, I'd be really surprised if they can't stick to that. But then that goes to tell us maybe the information that they're providing actually isn't all the information if it is then delayed. But I wouldn't be quick to worry or stress about this. Now, production on Indiana Jones 5 got underway earlier this month in Pinewood and other UK locations, which of course I've done loads of videos on now. I'll leave some of them linked above on leaks, exclusive information from my sources, things like that. So please do check them out. Now, Ford stars alongside Mads Mikkelsen, which we have here. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Boyd Holbrook, Shawnette Renee Wilson, and Thomas Kretschmann. Logan director James Mangold has taken over directing reins from Steven Spielberg, who still is serving as producer along with Kathleen Kennedy, who we've already seen actually on set, milling around with Harrison Ford directly. Frank Marshall and Simon Emanuel is obviously executive producers as well. And we have John Williams, who will be working on the score, which is awesome. Good to have him back on the score. Of course, why wouldn't we want him on the score? Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, they did get this statement from Disney directly, so this is why it's good to pull from the original source of this. Disney said, and I quote, "In the course of rehearsing for a fight scene, Harrison Ford sustained an injury involving his shoulder. Production will continue while the appropriate course of treatment is evaluated, and the filming schedule will be reconfigured as needed in the coming weeks." Now, that doesn't say that they have to delay anything. That just says, hey, we're going to shoot around it, and we'll have to reconfigure each stage of production, i.e., I don't know, a couple of weeks' time, they were going to go back up to Yorkshire, whatever, to do a big massive action set piece. Well, we're not going to do that now. We'll obviously have to delay that whilst moving the other things, which are a little bit more subdued, forward into that spot and then wait for recovery to take place. That's what it says to me. I don't think this is nothing to be concerned about. I doubt it anyway. Ford, this is the thing, which was, oh my god. Ford suffered a serious injury when his leg was broken by a hydraulic door. I'm laughing, but I'm laughing just at how I mean, it's how bad it is, really. It's kind of just absurd, isn't it? A hydraulic door, which was on the set of the Millennium Falcon spaceship. Could you imagine that? Or returning as Han Solo, my ship broke my leg. And that was for The Force Awakens. Was it really? There you go. That was for The Force Awakens. And didn't he as well? Didn't he like have a plane crash? I swear he had a plane crash as well at some point. And they didn't know whether he was going to even be able to shoot anything. This guy is militant. He just goes and goes and goes and goes. And it is really good to see. You know, he's 78 years old. He's 78 years old. And it's good to see him actually going about still doing these things. A lot of people have their issues with this movie because of his age. But I would say to you is that a lot of the people who have an issue because of his age would also have an issue with them swapping him out as well. I think you're sort of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't in this situation. This is a movie which I don't think should have been made, quite frankly. But I am excited to see what happens with it, because James Mangold is a fantastic director. He has made some absolutely fantastic films. Ford versus Ferrari recently, and Logan's obviously the one which everyone preaches about. 310 to Yuma is an incredible film. He has done some just masterpieces of cinema. Ford versus Ferrari is a movie which I bang on about all the time, or did do anyway. I strongly recommend people watch that film. I don't think you'll ever be disappointed with it. It's not a car movie, all right? It's an interpersonal relationship movie. I think you guys would really like it. So I've got a lot of hope for this, but still, this is a movie that probably shouldn't have been made. And I think this does highlight the fact that you're working with a 78-year-old. At the end of the day, 78-year-olds are going to be susceptible to greater injuries. But I also think this does highlight the fact that, hey, Ford is still getting ready for these action pieces. So I hope to God it is done in a believable way. A 78-year-old punching the lights out of a 20-year-old, not believable. So I hope that they do some of the fight scenes and action pieces in a believable fashion. But it's still good to see that he's trying. So we'll see if they can pull it off. We shall see. But I wouldn't be worried about this. It won't delay much. So let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I was going to report on this yesterday when the news broke, but I released way too many videos yesterday. It was just too much. For you guys, you won't get notified and things like that. So that's par for the course with these things. You have to release a certain amount in a day, which is annoying when there's news to cover, because I have to then delay it, which is frustrating. But never mind. Let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. You stayed this long. You clearly enjoyed the video. Hit that like button on your way out. Cheers. Take care.